Hi, this is Rob with the Oil Trading Room, doing with you a recap for the trading week ending April 12th. I just wanted to share with you some things that we did in the room this week, some tools that we used and how we use them, and some advancements that we've made in the room and things like that. And I like to just share that with you each week. First off, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. There's a risk of loss trading futures. Don't use the grocery money for trading. You got to use risk capital. Yeah, I've trained hundreds of traders, possibly thousands, and I've never seen anyone do well trading with money that they need for other things. Yeah, and trading is a complicated game. It's a process, and what's nice about what we do in the trading room is we use statistics to help us make the whole thing very understandable. Yeah, I'll cover some of those kinds of things that we do here in a minute. So I want to cover today, I'm going to take a minute and cover our super map. I'm going to cover our daily targets that we do each day. And then I want to cover a method we've used since day one in the room. Room's about 4.5 years old, T2 signals that we use in the room. I just call those bread and butter because we've used them since day one. And I also want to cover with you some things that we do with our 10 brick or 10 tick chart. Yeah, that's kind of cool. The daily targets each day in the room come out just a few minutes after the room gets started at the beginning of the day. This time's in New York time, and it'll tell you each day there's a 77% probability of tagging 6440 or 6380 is expected. And then another one that comes out at the same time, 94% probability 6508 and 6404 is expected. And so what's nice about this is that you can expect those targets being hit during the day, and you can trade towards them using the signals that we have in the trading room. Another thing I wanted to share with you is this week I made some I added a couple of things to our super map, and I added what we call the probability to extend to the table, and this makes it possible for you to make a prediction of the range that's in addition to the daily targets that we have. This one goes as the day goes, and I teach how to use that in the trading room. These other numbers on here we've covered in other editions, and I'll probably cover some more of those on other editions, but I added these probability to extend and the range targeting for each period this week, and it's a nice addition. A lot of the room members really love the things on this table as they help you to see what the market's going to be like, what kind of day it's going to be like, how likely it is to hit certain near-term and far-term targets, and there's just 100 different ways to use this, and we cover it each day. We discuss it each day in the trading room. Yeah. What else did I have I wanted to share with you? Let's see. Yeah, so we covered that on the super map. I wanted to cover the a thing that we've developed in the last couple of weeks that I haven't covered a lot before. This is our 10 brick chart, and we keep it in the bottom left of our screen in the trading room. And I developed these signals. It just simply turns the background green or red. And since I developed this, when I first tested it, I had an 89% win rate to 1 bar on the system. When you get it on a reversal bar, you can see that it turned green on a reversal bar there, turn red on a reversal bar there to go short, turn green on a reversal bar there, turn red on a reversal bar there. And this is nice because it's just sitting there in the room in the lower left part of your screen, and you can expect to get follow through on these bars. You get 1 bar. Well, when I did the original testing, you get 1 bar 89% of the time, almost 90, and you get 2 bars of continuation about 75% of the time, but it's actually performed better than that since we've been using it, which is kind of cool. But I marked out all the signals that happen in here this week. Marked all of them for the week for you. And like I said, it just happens on a reversal bar. Now, on some of these, you actually know that it's going to go quite a bit more, or that it's going to do it with an even higher probability. For example, today, on this one that happened right here, just after the first few 30-minute periods of the day, we saw that the trap trader oscillator was heading higher. You can see these dots are going higher. And so the probability for this was actually, by the time it got to about 8 a.m. Room time, the probability is about 99% it was going to go at least 1 bar. And that's based on using Bayes' theorem, which I also teach in the room, how to use combined probabilities for super system kinds of statistics and results. So I marked these trades out. You see the arrows on the chart there are trade markers, and 100% of these were winning trades this week to a 10-tick target, which is the minimum testing. Like I said, when I originally tested this, I got 89%. But in the signals in the room this week were 100% to win, which is pretty cool. And then if I hold that out to 20, my original testing, as I told you, tested out to 75%, but it was actually 90% this week to go 20 ticks. And there were, this happened about 10 times this week, 10 times this week. And so just for the initial signal, you had 10 trades to 10 ticks, $1,000 after commission. And then if you hold these out, you can see 90% on the second one. Now, what's cool about this is not just using this as a trading system, but knowing when this condition is true, and it tells you on our regular room chart where your signals are going to stack up. So I'm going to show you where that kind of thing happens and the kinds of things that you can do with it. And I'll just take a couple, I'll take an example or so from today. Now, but first, before I do that, I want to cover, in the recent weeks I've been covering on this weekly review, I've been covering some scalping signals that we do using dot patterns and things like that. But today what I'd like to cover is a old bread and butter pattern that we've been using since day one in the trading room called our T2 pattern. Now, T2 pattern takes the movement of the market and it trades it with the trend. And this uses our smart momentum indicator. And when the market comes back and touches a prior bar, and the smart momentum is higher while this is going lower, we call that a T2 pattern. And when you take that with the background color, or with other patterns that I teach on the trap trader oscillator, you can sometimes take those trades before the background color changes. I teach that in the room each week. And it takes these T2 trades where you're higher here. Sometimes I'll draw it like that in the room live while we're doing that. You get this one here. This is we call that an encompassing pattern, and then a cycle is a non-cycling type 2. and then you pick up another type 2 here. We also call that a 5-tick trap. These ones have really good probabilities, and when you get a line break with those, the trap trader oscillator, they follow through nicely in general. But I just tallied up the ones this week that specifically pivot retagged. Pivot retag is a concept that we teach in the room. It's a very powerful concept for understanding the way the market moves. And I tallied these up in trade markers and got this week 23 individual trades, 100% to 5 ticks, and then also to 10 ticks was 83%, and then to 15 ticks, that's 78%. And if you were to have traded something like that in the room with a 3-lot and peeling them off at those levels, your result would have been about $4,000 this week just trading 1 lots with that, or 3 lots at each target level. Now, what's even cooler is sometimes these signals will line up, or some semblance of these signals will line up with other things that we know that I showed you on that 10-brick chart. And for that, we use something called Bayes' theorem. And Bayes' theorem, just as a general rule of thumb, if you get 2 75% signals that happen on top of each other or that are concurrent, the result that you get from that is 90% to win. But if you get 2 that are like, 84% or something like that, it's upwards of 96% or more. And when you get those 89% ones on the 10-brick chart that I showed you earlier, and you combine them with one of these guys at 84, you can get trades that have a theoretical historical win rate upwards of 99%. And that happens all the time in the room, and at least a number of times each week. You wait for that alignment to occur. And so that's how that cookie crumbles. Now today we had a signal on, this is the 10-brick chart. We had a signal over here. Oh, I don't know what that did. Well, let me see if I can fix that. We had a signal here in the beginning of the day to go lower, and be over here in A period right up in here, and you can see that triggered at the 41 level, which is right down in here. These patterns where you get that double reversal with a red background like that is better than 88% to win. And so as these stats were true on that 10-brick chart to follow through, we only use, when I see that, I'm expecting 89%, but in fact it was 100. It was 90 to go 2, but I only use 75%. But when you get that, what you get is you get 88% stacked with 75. And then you get continuation from there. And you pick up a T2 and you go for the next one. You pick up a T2, you go for the next one. What were those daily targets that we were looking at earlier? I had today. Now, I used to have a service that just offered these daily targets alone, and the trading room includes those in your membership for about the same amount that people used to subscribe just for that single target alone. Those targets are high probability to hit. At 94% today, I had 6404 was expected. So we knew as we're coming down getting these signals, we know that it was likely to go to 6404 right down in here. The 77% target was targeting for 6380. 6380. You'll notice here in K period came down just right after. Actually, these targets go into the Globex section, so they actually go after K. But right after it came down and tagged that 6380, the probability of doing that 77%. So when you get these targets, you get something that's pulling price towards the target, And then the signals themselves, I consider those pushing, and I call this the push-pull concept. But you'll see that this triggered here at 9:14 a.m. to go south, 9:14 a.m. And so anything following that time, you knew that there was a good probability. So when the market came here and it recycled, and this came higher like this, and you got that background color change, that triggered right at 64.11, which is right the same price that you got that background color change at 64.11, same price that it triggered at on the 10 brick chart with 89% to go lower. And then the market came down and boom, tagged the 77% daily target. This is, sometimes I'll call it a miracle trade, but these kinds of situations align themselves up. So you get a 77% that's pulling, you get an 89% that's pushing, and this is, I didn't mark this on here because it's not clear, but you can see that that dot right there is actually below the right edge of that, making this is actually a T2 pattern, and that would trigger, it's a non-cycling encompassing T2. We had another one of those almost exactly like that. There's an incredible symmetry here of this encompassing pattern, rehook and go. Well, this is the encompassing pattern, rehook and go. This is the encompassing pattern, rehook and go. Exactly the same pattern, one going up, one going down. So anyways, that's just some cool things that happened in the room that I wanted to share with you this week. Let me see if I got everything on my list that I intended to cover. Yeah, we covered the 10 brick chart and all the signals. But if you're interested in learning how to trade, or you're interested in developing trading systems, or you're interested in improving your trading, or you're interested in learning ways to trade where things are really stacked in your favor, and if you do the work to learn this stuff, you know it while you're trading. You know that reversal bar happened. You know that 89% is there, and you're just waiting for that thing to set up, and it all comes together with that. Then the oil trading room is definitely something that you want to do, and you can also get the tools that we're using. We're using the Smart Patterns trading system that is available through Indicator Smart. So that's my review for the week of cool things that we've been doing in the room. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about how we do this each day in the trading room, contact me through the websites and we'll help get you started, or just go to the website and sign up or get the trading tools. I'm going to give you some links or resources here for doing that. Oiltradingroom.com is the website. And if you want to get the Smart Patterns trading system and get the tools that make it possible to do these things, go to the homepage at indicatorsmart.com and take a look at the Smart Patterns trading system there. Yeah. Have a super weekend. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again next week.